Okay, so it's still the Black Table, and we have to take a quick break so that we can bring in our guest for today. You all know him as the WoMen crooner. As a singer, songwriter, pastor, and so much more. Father, husband, and we brought him specifically because of what we're talking about today.
Interesting.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, so we have to do a quick switch, send Gang to his corner. Gang stays in the wife's corner, and then, of course, our guest.
I didn't do
our
that.
Guest.
You're a pastor now?
I've always been a pastor. Oh, you just chose not to listen to the songs properly. Okay. You heard only the love song.
No. I know you've been along those lines. I know you're in the gospel line and stuff, but I didn't know officially that you were a pastor.
I am.
It's good to know.
Now that you know, yes, you need to keep it.
I actually do my best so people don't know. Deal with me as Tosin. And if it's pastoral, you can tell. If it's not, it's not. I don't like to put, if you put a title forward, I think it's a bit of an unfair basis for interaction.
Okay, so what he's saying is scratch the pastor right now. Let's talk to
Tosin. Exactly. So it doesn't gag you. You can ask anything you want to ask. We can talk freely.
Welcome. Lovely to see you again.
Pleasure.
So, WoMen, 20 years ago.
Interesting.
Yes. So it's been 20 years since that song was released.
Exactly.
Tell me, how has it impacted your life?
I mean, in many ways and in great ways. You know how it is. Music, by its nature, is a very surreptitious, very, very insipid kind of thing. It has a way of just getting you into the hearts of people. And when they love the music, they love you by extension. I've profited greatly from that. Great relationships.
Thank you for being honest.
I don't know about money, but great relationships.
Thank you for being honest about that.
Profit for me is not, my era is not the social media streaming era.
Okay.
I'm
I believe
older in music.
That song still, till now, should be getting...
Oh, of course it's getting that, but I'm saying at the time it came out and whatever accolades or reach it had at the time, we didn't have the streaming platforms and the social media reach that we have today. So we've just done a remake with Johnny Drill and a young lady called Mega Gopikutan. She's Indian.
Oh my God!
So she had done the song in India.
Oh really?
And yes, it got some virality, and incidentally we were able to meet, and she got on the song. So
that's nice. That's nice.
Interesting.
All right, that means
I really need to ask him this.
Okay,
please.
Have there been any negatives from that song or that fame at that time?
Yes, negatives are a function of your own response. So I guess I've been helped with the capacity somehow to manage my response to the attention. So that has sort of gauged the kind of follow-up that comes with that. Okay. But in terms of attention, negative attention, of course, I've got a lot of that. I've been to an event where somebody wanted me to you know what I'm saying? Somebody wanted me to autograph on a part of our body that, and that's just one out of 1,000 examples.
Pastor ni mi, mo le side me.
Le side me. As much as concerned, you are here.
Sign it.
Okay. Lovely.
That's it. That's all.
Okay. We'll be asking the question, what do men really want women to bring to the table? But before we dive into that, there's this interesting post that I found on Instagram from this handle is_daughter_7. And I'm just going to be reading out a few of the things she mentioned that men really want, and then we can, analyze it and see if she's right. Okay. Now, the first one, she says, peace and emotional stability. Then I move on to the second one, wisdom and discernment. And then we have support and encouragement. We have feminine energy and nurturing. We have respect and submission. We have moral and spiritual strength. We have grace and forgiveness. We have social intelligence and class. We have patience and long-term vision. Being a great role model to the kids, and just being a jolly good fellow. Okay, so yes, Now that's our own definition of what she feels that men want women to bring to the table. Now let's discuss what this table is exactly. This conversation is a long, an ongoing conversation that keeps coming back every now and then because times keep evolving and changing. So Tosin, I'm going to be starting with you.
Wow.
Because you've been married for how long now?
August this year will be 19 years.
19 years. He's a father in the ministry. Yes, he knows what's up. So we're going to listen to him. Now, in your experience and in your experience with other people too, what do you think men want women to bring to the table?
Okay, so the proverbial table is a statement of the culture. and I think offset, we had very, very fruitful conversations. I want to, bring some things from that.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to take away the table.
Okay.
So that
this
figment
table stays. Though.
Yes, that figment. That figment is off the minds of people, and we can have conversations on a very normal level.
Okay.
What we're really talking about is the relationship. The relationship is the table. And anybody who is involved in a relationship, essentially you want it to work. And then it requires that every side contributes something to ensure that it works.
Yeah.
So that contribution is all we're talking about. That's what we mean by table.
Yeah.
The relationship. What I would want anybody to bring, what I want my wife to bring to the relationship, what I believe she's brought to the relationship, essentially over anything else, is that we're going in the same direction. There's nothing more difficult than division on any issue, on any matter, at any point in time. Before you hop on the bus of any relationship, hear the stop. Are you going my way?
Oh.
If you're not going my way, don't get on. You don't get on a bus going to Benin and start fighting. Why didn't you?
When do you do that? At the very beginning?
At the beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're clear.
But women, they know how to.
No, the dynamics change with time. Everybody has some changes in practical terms. But I'm saying essentially the core, the principle of a relationship is that we are headed in the same direction. And of course, if I may use the scriptures here, can two work together except they be agreed? I'm going this way, you're going this way. When you are clear about that from the beginning, I think all the other details with time can align. And then, since we're committed to that, I expect you to give me peace, to realize that we're both working towards that vision. So any decision I make, you trust me that it must be in pursuit of that. And anything you are suggesting, I trust you that it must be contribution to that. So whatever that requires, and whatever strength everybody has, we live up to our strength.
Well said. Rich Uncle, your summation on the same thing.
I'm going to speak from my own point of view. As a man, I think, what do you expect a woman to bring to the table? Just don't bring chaos. That's all. Because for a man that knows where he's going in his life or knows what direction he wants his life to flow in, the last thing he will need would be obstruction. So like he rightfully said, if you're going to hop on this bus, it's going to Ibadan. Don't be asking us why are we not passing Abuja. It's going to Ibadan. If you are going to go to Ibadan, jump on the bus. If you are not going to Ibadan, just wait another bus to come. And what's always most important is understanding that we are on the same team. Like we're on the same team. And I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. Like, okay, they think me. There's no me in a relationship.
Okay.
There's no me, it's us. Like, it's us against this, us against this. It's not you against this, then me and my... No.
True.
If you cannot play as a team player, don't bother. There is no me. Like, in the real sense of it, there's no me in a relationship. Once you start dividing along those lines of, oh, me this, me that, it falls apart pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
And the way relationships crumble, everything can be all right on Monday, on Tuesday, you're in lockouts. Oh, yeah. So, if you know that I'm not going to Ibadan, don't get on the bus, wait for another one. It's really that simple.
Okay, gang, question to you now. Who do you think should be held responsible for this whole thing? I've had conversations with multiple people with different experiences. Some say in the very beginning we're on the same path, we're on the same train, we're going to Ibadan together. But over time, they deviated and went separate ways. Who should be held responsible? And are men really, do men really know what they want when it comes to that? Because a lot of men say, okay, this is what I want. But down the line, men evolve. So,
but everybody, women evolve too.
Yeah, but I mean, well, you want, and correct me if I'm wrong, most societies, most cultures, the men still propose and the men lead the direction, which is where I'm coming from right now. So, are men, responsible for this?
Well, since you put it that way, the man is the lead. The man is the head. The man is the driver of this vehicle that's going this way.
Yeah.
So the man is responsible for the destination.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Women are supposed to find a way as helpers to assist and align with the journey, align with the destination that we are going to. And also learn how to drive just in case the driver has any issues or something happens to the driver. She takes over and continues to head in that direction.
Okay, so I like what you just said, but let's now speak in clearer terms. In today's world, there's the conversation about equality and all of that. Do you think finances should be part of what women should bring on the table?
So let's be clear about the affront of social media.
Yeah.
The rules have changed. But then you and I have a responsibility in our own spaces to determine how far that incursion comes in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you man the gates and make sure, look, in this house, in this space, for the success of our vision, for the purpose of achieving, let's avoid these distractions whilst we're
so it's
on this
clearly
adventure.
defined.
Yes, because social media has given us now sister-in-laws, new sisters-in-laws that we didn't know, new brothers-in-laws we didn't know, and largely because a lot of us take our relationships there.
Online, yeah.
So the moment you mention finances,
Yes.
I can tell you half the mindset the average person has about what financial roles a woman should play comes from there. So if we can, filter out that place, the roles are really clear.
Okay.
In any relationship, you both have the same goals. So I should be passionate enough about my goal that when the person who is taking the lead has a problem, as he said, it's only natural. I have the spare, I have the money, I give it to you.
Okay. So
because it's a
women,
relationship.
So a lot of
if you
women
can
are
spend
right.
my money,
yes,
and I don't see it as my money, why should I not be able to spend your money and you should not see it as your money? It's our money. Yeah, he said there's
okay,
no,
so
the
common definition, which is your money is our
Those
money.
things are from
my
social
money
media. It's
is
not,
my money.
That's problem number one.
That's problem number one. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But now, do you think, based on how society is today, that there should be a sharing formula of some sort? And I feel, and I might be wrong, but I feel that one of the major issues people have in relationships in today's world is responsibilities and finances. Do you think there should be something defined whereby, you take 60% of responsibilities and finances and I'll do 40%? Do you think that is okay for men?
You guys already know. You know where I stand on this.
I know where he stands on this.
You know where I stand on this one. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a very, very traditional boy.
Yes.
This is how I was brought up. It might not work in this world.
Yeah.
Fine. But I don't understand the world where we'll bring the bills, we'll now say, this is my own, this is your own. No. And I back it up by saying, as a man, if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, or whatever age you're in, right? Let's assume you were married. And while you were in university, you got a girl pregnant and she had a kid, right? The kid is probably maybe 20 now. Would you not pay school fees for that child? You would. Would you still be living with your parents? Most probably not.
Not, of course.
You'll be paying for wherever it is that you're staying. Would you feed yourself? If you can do all of that by yourself, why then do I now get into a marriage and need to support me to do this? If you live a life that you can finance, this is where most people get it wrong.
You'll be happy.
If you live a life that you can finance, you won't have problems.
Yeah,
I like that you brought that angle in.
If you live a life that you can finance.
I like that you brought that in, which is why I then mentioned the issue of social media. The reality, the traditional standard that we all know is what you say. Everybody,
now,
I mean, all of us pay our bills as much as we're able to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you have another person involved, which is your wife, there's something called standards. Okay. And the moment standards are peddled on platforms that everybody can see, that's why I say you now have to keep the gates. You have to keep the gates.
It's self-imposed pressure.
So in that case, this is what I do. I mean, I have a joke. I said to my wife, okay, this is what I have for what we want to do.
Okay.
If you want more than that, my mother didn't give birth to a fool. I also like Ikoyi. If you can pay the difference, let's go.
Let's go.
It doesn't make me less a man.
Because
Okay.
I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Yes, which is what I can
Because
do.
you've set your own
But
bar, your standards.
sometimes, but sometimes they don't want what you can
want.
do.
Exactly.
And they are able to make the difference. Oh, by all means, please.
Okay, so does that make you lesser
Nope,
of a man
not
in
for me.
control?
See, I'm not
Peace.
trying to speak for all men, but I know a lot of men, if they had their way financially, their wife doesn't have to bring a dime.
Oh, of course.
The wife doesn't have to spend a dime. The wife doesn't have to work. The wife doesn't have to do nothing.
But you don't always have
They've
your way.
got you till the day they're gone.
Okay.
So,
now,
but in the modern days now, like there was something that I thought about. Some men wouldn't mind if their woman brought another woman to the table.
Okay. That's a
They're afraid to ask.
No, you
said they were on a journey now. You're big passengers.
Okay,
now.
so
big passengers.
so far we've talked about
detour.
so far we've talked about married people. Well, now let's talk about the younger generation.
Okay.
Younger men, younger women, and people who are still in the dating space trying to find themselves.
Yes.
Now, a lot of younger women, based on societal pressure and
Social
expectations
media,
and
yes.
social media, like
Yes.
you said, have created this mentality that
Talking stage.
now man you be.
This is what you
This
need
is
to
what
do
you need to do X, Y, Z at different
before we
times.
go past one stage.
Man, I feel for that generation. I really feel for them.
Also, I always say all this. It's still self-imposed pressure. Have you ever met a confident human being?
You are not
before?
living in your own world.
No,
You're not a
have you
hermit.
ever met?
You are dealing with this.
No, but have you ever met
reality.
Rich uncle, you are rich uncle.
No,
No, but
I've not
what you
passed
say, he
that
has a
era.
point.
Have you
because
ever
there's
met a confident man before? He does not care what you think.
Yeah.
It's not about how much this costs, how much that costs. This is what I want, and I'm happy with this. You and your people. And the truth of it is, I always say this, that parents, when you are raising children, we always seem to forget that that's the greatest assignment God can ever give a human being.
Of course.
Because you are you're giving another person the template on how to live life.
Okay.
Yes.
Right? And the best thing you can instill in those children is confidence. If you can raise a confidence child, you won.
Yeah.
Especially
Because
confidence in the right
In
things.
in every sphere, because they will live a life that is theirs, not a life that, this is what people expect me to do. I mean, if think about it, taking it from where you are coming from now. I work in a bank, I'm 21. There's this girl that works in the bank with me too. My salary is maybe 200K, her salary is 200K. You want me to spend 400K on you every month? Where is it going to come from?
Of course, it's realistic.
My capacity is 200.
And you can't spend the entire
But the
400.
confident banker that is smart will tell you, if I bring my 200 and your 200, we have the 400 that we're supposed to spend.
Yeah, but then we'll not have anything to put away, to save, to increase,
No, but
in order to
she's smart
have
enough,
sustainable
she's
wealth.
smart enough to make sure that you're not thinking above your means, and I'm there as a backup.
So from my understanding-
there's
No,
this
but what he's
conversation.
saying is he's pointing you to the reality that we're in a time when people expect more from
More
you than
from
what
you than
they
what
know
they
your
want.
There's a
capacity.
Exactly,
conversation, there's
yeah.
a conversation that was had.
I'm not going to let that happen
sometime
to
last
me.
year, and people are still having this conversation.
Okay.
You either choose to be a rich wife or a rich man's wife. There's a difference.
Say it again.
You
One more
can
time.
be a
You
rich
either-
wife
a rich
or
man's
be
wife.
a rich man's wife.
Rich man's
It's easier to be a rich man's wife.
Do you understand? The choice is yours.
And there are
Yeah.
two different things.
There are
Two different things. Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
when you have your own bag
Yeah.
and you come into a relationship, it's different from when you come in and you're waiting.
So from all I'm hearing here, you're saying that what men really want women to bring to the table is the man bringing all the bag.
No. What we're saying is, under normal circumstances, the man holds the bag, supplies everything the woman and the children need.
That's how it should be.
But where in the practical realities of modern life,
Economical
yes,
realities.
certain standards go beyond my capacity to provide. Of course, some help is required, especially when you are the one demanding it. But where the problem comes, as he is saying, and I agree, is that if you are then placing a demand and you are not willing to support and supply, and that becomes the measurement of my being a man or not, that's totally
problem.
untenable.
I remember
That's
something
untenable.
that one rapper said on Drink Champs. He said that if If I meet a woman and I have 10 million, and then while we're together, I amass 40 million. If something happens, she should be entitled to half of my resources. But if I meet a woman and I have 10 million, and then by the time we're parting ways, I only have like 11.
Something wrong somewhere.
Then you're not entitled. There's nothing.
Yeah.
A woman should be able to help you multiply.
Because that's what
a woman is not supposed to be taking away from you. There's something a woman brings to the table that just makes, can I call it progress? Makes you just accelerate, makes you multiply, makes you add, makes you continue to increase. Do you understand? If a woman comes to the table and your life starts decreasing and depreciating and going down, then come on.
They're called intangible assets.
Exactly.
Peace of
That's
mind.
the chaos you're talking about. That she
Peace
has
of
brought to the
mind,
table.
support, taking care of the home front so that you are not distracted in your career. All of those things are quantified as assets. And men also must be careful. A lot of the challenge we have today is the fact that before now, men placed too much value on the money. So women were not allowed to enjoy their contribution in terms of support, emotional support, taking care of the children. Those things are assets.
They're very important.
And a man must be careful to accept them as assets so that we don't keep causing women to be so enriched to think that they are undervalued. That's why they would rather go for the rich man.
No, but
okay,
but I always say that.
I
always say that as a man, right? If you have a good woman by your side, you want to give her the world now.
Absolutely,
you
it's an
want
asset.
to give her the world
Because
you know what you have. You know that
children who are well raised is an asset.
It's an asset.
Okay, so time is fast running. There's something we do that is called Just a Tip, which is just like a payoff of some kind from from the show, and you're going to be giving that to us in a bit. But I'm just going to take a quick feedback from social media. And I'm going to be starting with at Meta. Portable is a nuisance that I love watching. The contradiction they sweet me. Thank you, at Meta. As Lolo says, Natasha stood up for herself. That's talking about the senator. Nope. Maybe she could have chosen words carefully, but she wouldn't let her rights be trampled upon by nobody. Thank you, at Lolo, for your feedback. And then we have at Shayo. At Shayo goes, oh my days, it's so good to see the legend Tosin Martins on the Black Table. He must sing before he goes. He doesn't sing for free. At the therapist says Tosin Martins is so eloquent. It's so good to see a fresh face on the Black Table. I miss Deck though. Stop that. And Luku says, I agree with Gang about confirming if the child not only belongs to the father, but also the mother. And at Ali says, just like Tosin Martins said, the law should make it mandatory to do a DNA from birth of a child. If yam pepper go scatter, make him scatter earlier beg. And then at Lighty, in this generation that we find ourselves, I'm in agreement with Tosin Martins. Don't up on the bus if you ain't going to the same destination. Else we've got accident. And finally, at Jolade says, Opoluwafemi is a traditional man, and I love it. Way to go, Rich Uncle. Okay, so we've got just a few more minutes before we wrap up the show. And of course, our Just the Tip will be coming from Tosin Martins here. So, just the tip, not everything. Just a tip.
Okay, the topic tonight has been largely the table. I think I'll just reiterate something we've said. Life is a straight line depending on whether or not we choose to see it that way. Any two people who want to walk a road should be clear-minded. Once your choice is wrong, everything else will follow. So it's best to make that choice right at the beginning. And especially we men, we should never allow the emotional and chemical considerations
don't be swayed,
cloud our eyes. Once our values don't align.
There's really
thank you very much. Thank you very much. I said just because everything went in.
And it's so true because you're actually just setting yourself up for future disaster. It's going
once
to
our values
come.
don't align. The problem is we just cannot let go of that look. There's a lookbook. the it girl, the it guy. Once it looks like that's there, we find a way to raise that extraordinary.
Exactly.
We borrow it from our friends.
Exactly.
There's some men that feel as if they can switch the table anytime.
Exactly.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
End up with a Tolani badge or something.
No, but the thing,
Okay.
the
Is
truth,
it not you?
no, but the truth about it, honestly, is so true. Like if it's not aligning, just don't
let it go.
bother.
It doesn't work.
Because
All right.
you will still
You come back.
come back.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. It's been
Absolute
such
pleasure.
an interesting show. Thank you, Tosin Martins.
My absolute pleasure. Thank
It's
you for
such,
having me.
you know,
Thank you
a
so
lovely
much.
time
Sir.
having
And
you
I'm happy
here.
to meet the rich uncle.
Ah,
I'll leave with
the
some money.
rich uncle, yes.
And my
of
G.
course, Tien Gang.
I'm not a
Faithful
many
The
years.
most faithful man in
man in
Lagos.
Lagos and the
Most
mayor of
faithful.
Agogi.
We don't know
Great guy.
about outside Lagos,
Thank you.
right?
I don't know about outside Lagos. Yeah,
But in
exactly.
Lagos, I'm the most faithful man in Lagos.
Yeah, that's
We'll give
what's
you that.
most
We'll
important.
give you that.
because
It's
don't-
okay.
you only
Because
travel every
Tosin is
once
in
a
and out
while.
of Lagos.
All
Travels
right.
a lot. So.
Thank you very much for staying on to watch the Black Table this evening. It's been such an interesting edition of the show. We're back same time, same station, same, frequency next week. Until then, remember, the darker the night, the brighter the stars. Good night.
Another thing is so your value.